July 4th, the birthday of our country. And it was really interesting. In our Coachella Valley, we also experienced an earthquake on July 4th. And I thought to myself, there is a shift that is unfolding here. And that the spiritual symbolism of earthquakes is the shift in consciousness. And that as we join together as light bearers and light workers, we see through the appearances, the conditions, and the effects that show up in life. And it's our job to see through them to the truth of our being. And when we hear the statement, and I didn't understand it for years, those also serve who only stand and wait, I never really quite got it. I thought, the action with intention, let it unfold, put the works with the faith. But what I got is that when we stand in the truth, and we see through these appearances and conditions and effects that show up in life and do not give our power away to them, that we are serving at a much, much deeper level. And there have been scientific, and it's amazing how these experiments have taken place with Tibetan monks praying for 30 days for peace, and how the crime went down in New York City, and various other things that occurred. So we know that energy is neither destroyed nor created, it merely changes form, and that it's up to us to direct that energy. So I would like to share with you today the Declaration of Interdependence. And as we look at the evolution, revolution, and life's greatest invitation, and I love what Neil Donald stated, he said that we are moving beyond a victim-villain mentality, a yours and mine mentality, a win-lose mentality, to an ours mentality, a win-win. It's all about ours. That we are together and forever connected in our oneness, regardless of what? Regardless of color, race, creed, sexual orientation, or political affiliation. We are all one. So I thought it was important today to share this Declaration of Interdependence, originally written in 1944, the year I was born, by Will Durant. And he wrote a series of 10 volumes, The History of Civilization, which was pretty amazing. And Melody Bacon, she paraphrased it. And I thought, this is significant. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all life is interconnected and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights and responsibilities. That among these are presence, compassion, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights and responsibilities, we open our minds and our hearts to the needs of others and our own true needs. We hear the sound of the living universe in our ears, and we add our voices to their song. We live every moment with awareness of the purity and power of existence. And for the support of this declaration, we pledge to each other our love and our breath. For the freedom of the one is the freedom of the all, and the pain of the one is the pain of the all. The breath of the one is the breath of the all, and the breath of the all is the breath of God. That we are all one. And when we come together in this oneness and we acknowledge that we have an opportunity, and that opportunity is to make that shift in consciousness. And I really felt that the level that we felt that earthquake on July 4th was symbolic. Because remember that symbolism is the messages to the unconscious. That there is a sacred mythology within every culture. And the opportunity that we have to make a difference with our own consciousness. So life's greatest invitation, moving away from the victim-villain mentality, is what? Is taking responsibility for our own lives. And as we make this shift in consciousness, others are attracted into the energy field through the law of attraction and correspondence. Like attracts like, water seeks its own level. Birds of a feather flock together. It's all about energy. And remember what Tesla said, if you want to know the secret secrets of life, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency, which takes us out of the realm of personality into taking responsibility for our own energy field and what we create. And as we look at our own creations, it's not to beat ourselves up with, it's to grow, it's to unfold, it's to expand. It's to be in the world, to live, to love, to laugh, to express, and sometimes to weep. What are our tears? With that gentle cleansing upon the soul, that energy that purifies, clarifies. So when we invite the angels, the archangels, and all enlightened beings to cleanse, purify, harmonize, balance, attune, and heighten the energy field, we too are uplifted. We too live and move and have our being in that energy field. So the evolution revolution is not about violence. It's about peace. It's about recognizing peace is possible. But we have to get past that energy of right and wrong thinking to what works and what doesn't work. And when we look at what works, we are not assigning blame on anything outside of ourselves. Ah, this works. I'm going to do more of that. Ah, this doesn't work. And someone recently said to me, well, I received this constructive criticism. I said, I don't really believe in constructive criticism. The moment someone says, oh, I have some constructive criticism for you, we kind of shrink to smaller proportions. We go, oh, great, wonderful. We kind of like, it's not really welcome. But if I say, I have a positive suggestion, a little feedback, that I think that will assist and support you, we welcome that. But when we use lower frequency languaging, we shrink. We shrink to smaller proportions. When we learn conscious languaging, that's empowering. That's acknowledging one another. And that what works and what doesn't work. So we're going to do more of what works. I love the little Aesop fable about the fox and the goat. And the fox was so thirsty, and he jumped down a well, and he was drinking the water, and he realized, oh my gosh, I can't get back out. What am I going to do? And old Billy Goat comes around, he looks down the well, and says, how's the water? I'm so thirsty. Oh, the fox said, it's the best water in all the land. Come, oh, taste it. There's plenty for both of us. And without thinking, the goat goes on, jumps down the well, begins drinking the water, and with that being said, the fox, what does it do? You can imagine, jumps on its back, takes the, one last leap on the antlers, or the horns, and just, he's out. And the billy goat says, oh my gosh, how am I going to get out? And the fox says, that's your problem. And the little moral is, look before you leap. So we all do things that are a little unconscious at the time. And when we do things that are unconscious at the time, we have the opportunity then to say, that didn't work, so I'm going to do it this way. So it brings it up to a higher vibrational frequency for us. And we begin to operate from a higher octave of living. And that we add our voice to all voices, that we are all one. And we celebrate our oneness. We're drawn together through our similarities. We grow through our differences. I have been going through things. I moved in October, and I found a certificate that I received from the Hall of Tolerance. And I made a contribution. And I thought, and it's located in Los Angeles. And the Hall of Tolerance is acknowledging that, what went on the planet, and to add certain donations to forward and advance humanity, and particularly those that were in the Holocaust. And I thought, tolerance in itself is a lower frequency word. If I'm tolerating you, then I'm putting up with you. And that is not an energy where I want to live. But if I accept you, if I agree to disagree, and accept that this works for you and I have respect for you, that lifts the energy field. For the evolution revolution is making the shift in consciousness and drawing the larger circle. He drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in. We do the larger circle. So if we have the awareness, we make the adjustment. And I remember when I used to live next door to my mother-in-law, believe it or not, and I was not her favorite person, and she would tell everyone, oh, she stole my right arm from me, and oh, woe is me, and she, anyone who would listen in that sympathetic vibration. And in those days, I wasn't quite as evolved. And I would always, I'd always have a retort, right? And she says, I'm not putting up with your sass. She was from Oklahoma, and she was part Cherokee and Irish, and she said, oh, she got my Irish and Indian up. So we had this thing that went on. And then I shared with my minister, Dr. Guy Lorraine, and just how horrible she was and how awful it was living next door to her. And he listened very intently, and then he said, one sentence, you have the awareness, you make the adjustment. Well, I was devastated. I thought how insensitive he could be. I'm going through all this with this woman that hates me, and my husband's mother, and oh my God. I told Neil, I am never going back. I will never step foot in there again. And he said, fine, he agreed, that's my choice. But as the days wore on, I thought, well, if I have taken all these classes, and I've taken 3 years of science in my classes. I did have the awareness, but you know what? I hadn't embodied it. And if people treated me nice, I treated them nice. It's great when people love us. We're in quite a little energy field, a wonderful little joyous bubble that pops when someone doesn't agree with us and doesn't like us. So I thought, I'm going to see what Dr. Lorraine, just going to kind of see how this goes. So she would instigate something, and I would always react. Oh, right on cue. So she would put something out there that wasn't really kind, and I would always react. So I thought, I have the awareness. He sees that I have the awareness. I must have the awareness if I've taken all this classwork and workshops and all this to unfold my life at a higher consciousness and a higher vibration. So she said something that was unkind. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And then she threw something else out. I said, oh, really? Okay. And I did not react. And she went to my husband and she said, is Sharron feeling all right? She's not reacting. He said, yeah, she's fine. And I called it my own little formula. Let the ball bounce. So when she throws something out at me, I would just let the ball bounce into infinity, and I would not react. And our relationship became closer. And as my husband, who was diagnosed with cancer, and he had 5 really good years, and our daughter was 3 days old when he was diagnosed with cancer. And so he looked into that cradle, and he made a declaration, I have too much to live for. And we did a spiritual treatment. We had the awareness. We made the adjustment. We did a spiritual prayer. And he had 5 really great years. And then it reoccurred. It was interesting because the doctor foretold that it would reoccur in 5 years. And he did accept that. And I often wondered, what if the doctor said it would recur in 10 years? You know how we are, that we accept certain information into our lives. But I also know that Spirit knows where it wants to be. And so as much as we love someone and we want them to be here with us, if it's time to transcend and to graduate, they will. And we make the adjustment. We have the awareness. So my let the ball bounce philosophy worked fabulous. And to this day, if I feel that my buttons are being pushed, and believe me, for 44 years that I have been in the ministry, this was a male-dominated profession. I was one of the few female ministers. And I was reactive as well. So through the passage of time, practicing let the ball bounce philosophy, I got to know people. And when my husband transcended, he and his mother and I became very, very close. And she had like a lifelong dream to go to Hawaii. She'd never been to Hawaii, and I was invited to do a seminar in Hawaii. And I took my mother-in-law and my daughter and my best friend and the nanny, and we all went, and I did this seminar just a few weeks after Neil had transitioned. And I thought to myself, here, I didn't like what I heard. You have the awareness, you make the adjustment. I didn't like it, but you know what? It was the truth. We do these classes, workshops, we meditate, we levitate, we do all these things. Are we practicing? Is our daily life our temple and our religion? Are we practicing this way of life? The evolution revolution gives us an opportunity to move beyond us and them. We don't need to catch the ball and in an inflamed rage throw it back. We can let that proverbial ball go. We can let it go and let it move into infinity, because it's about an ours mentality. It's about a win-win mentality. It's about what works and what doesn't work. And let's just do more of what works. And as we do more of what works, our life is going to expand in amazing ways. And yeah, there are times where we're not going to look and we're going to leap. And then we're going to figure out, how do I get out of this hole? We're going to pray for somebody to come by and give us what? A hand up. And what my experience of life is, there is always someone there to give us a hand up. I call them my Christ in disguise. There is always someone there for us. If we let go and let God do what God does best by means of each and every one of us. And we learn the philosophy of letting go. Just let the ball bounce. Let it return to its native nothingness from whence it came, because in truth it is neither person, place, nor thing. It is only the life and the energy that has been given into it. So on this day, as we look at the evolution revolution, that revolution is within us. That evolution where we evolve who we are. We connect to each other. We embrace in this recognition that you are as close to God as I am ever going to get. I am as close to God as you are ever going to get. And if I am in that place in me and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. So on this day, we embrace in that oneness. We acknowledge. And when I went to present in India a couple years ago, and I said to an audience of 10,000, Namaste. And to have 10,000 people bow in reverence and say, Namaste. I was totally reduced to tears. I had never felt such energy. The God in me salutes the God in you. And the God in you salutes the God in me. And if I'm in that place in me and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. Namaste. So we carry this energy with us. And everyone and anyone who comes within our energy field is healed and uplifted in our presence. And how blessed we are to be in this way of life. And I invite all of you, our viewing audience, we know that nothing happens by chance. We're all here by divine appointment in our community here today. Go online, sign that oneness declaration, where we'll acknowledge that beyond all differences, there is a bond, and it is our humanity, and we're all part of humanity's team, and that does make all the difference. So I say to you, we're all going somewhere. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Because we are in a high place, and we will not come down. None of these outer things move us. We are in a high place, and we will not come down. And I say to you, Namaste, Shalom, the peace that passes all understanding, and God bless us, everyone. And so it is. Thank you, and I love you.